Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Danielle. Today we're talking about vision boards because here's the thing. Today marks exactly 6 months halfway through the year. Okay, so we are halfway through 2020. Who would have thought everything that has happened would happen? Like, insane. However, I want to think about any goals or New Year's resolutions or whatever you had in January or last December and just like check in with yourself. Okay, so for myself, I said this a million times, but my word for the year was discipline, to not let circumstances get in the way of what I want. And so I am reflecting on how I'm doing with that. And then also I have a list in my phone of just like goals and things I want to accomplish in 2020. So I have almost all of those done already, and I thought it'd be fun to make an updated vision board because I made this vision board back here last November, and so it's just a little bit outdated now. I have accomplished a lot of the things that I had vision for, okay? And so today we're making a new one, and I hope that you join me. If you need some inspiration to make the things that you want come to life, or if you have a bunch of goals that you just need help getting a kick started, keep watching. This video is for you. Having vision is super duper important for you in your life, because if we don't have vision, we just are kind of aimlessly walking around. We're not chasing the things that we want. And the thing is, guys, is that we will never get the things that we want if we don't work for it. And anything worth having is worth working for. So get your big girl, big boy pants on, and we're gonna get to work today thinking about things that we want for the rest of this year, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, whatever you feel that is like the right time period for you, whatever you wanna accomplish in that time, we're thinking about those things today. So to give you an example of how this will look at the end is, let's look at my vision board that's back here. Okay, so there's a few important things about this vision board. At the time when I made this, I was going through a really hard season in my life where I was working through some really severe depression and anxiety, and it was just like a really, really rocky time in my life. I have the words front and center, how to be calm in the storm. So I really wanted to work on myself, and I wanted to learn to regulate my emotions despite what's going on around me, which really kind of goes along with my word for 2020. The big picture of the guy looking at the computer screen was me having a vision of just keeping up with my blog or on my website, keeping up with social media, and making a difference with my words. In the upper right hand corner, it says stalk your flock. Moving to Adrian was really hard on me because I didn't grow up here. I didn't really know anyone here, and opposite to that, Brandon knew a lot of people. He grew up here and went to high school here, and some of his friends are still here, and just like no one new really moves to Adrian. So anyone our age that is here probably grew up here and already has like a close circle of friends. So that was really hard for me. I really wanted to work on just investing in relationships and finding those like people that I can count on that are around me physically, not just across the country. Below that, it says thunder words. It goes back to just using my words because our words have power. And underneath that is a stack of books. And again, that is just me wanting to use my words to make a difference, writing books, writing posts, writing articles, writing essays, whatever it looks like. I want to keep using my words to make a difference. In the middle there, it says light yet tough as Everest. That just is me saying like, I am strong, I am tough, I can get through whatever life throws at me, and I'm going to do it. Underneath that, it says a century of caring, and that just goes back to me wanting to take care of other people. I am a number 2 on the Enneagram, if you are familiar, so I am a helper, and I was really contemplating for a long time now going back to school for counseling or social work, and I wanted to just dive into that more and find if that's the right path for me or not. But regardless, I want to be someone who people know they can count on and has their back. In the bottom left hand corner, there is the cutest little picture of little snails, I think they're snails, on a track, and it's like start and finish. And I just wanted to remind myself that progress is progress, and it doesn't matter how fast it goes. So I wanted to be intentional about taking note of the progress I was making through therapy and through just all the things I was doing to help myself feel better and to be in a better mental space. I've just outgrown this vision board a little bit, and that is great. That is perfect. If you notice, it is like right on top of my desk, well, above my desk, and that is intentional because if we see our vision board, it helps us keep it in the forefront of our mind. And it's so important because let's just finish out this year thinking positively. Let's focus on the good things, focus on what we're working on instead of focusing on all the bad and all of the obstacles that could be in your way. Overlook them. You can go past it, you can get through it, and you can make your goals come to life. Vision also just helps us to notice doors that are opening for us, whereas if we're not paying attention to what our vision is, then we might not notice those doors opening, those doors of opportunity. You only need a few things to make this vision board. I am making mine today a little bit different than the one I made in November, but it's still really simple. I didn't have any poster board or anything for like the background, the structure of it. So I grabbed an old canvas that I have that was kind of not doing great. Okay, it was just a white canvas and the binding was just kind of coming loose and I didn't want to use it for paint, so it worked out perfectly. I used that and then I couldn't find any glue sticks for some reason, so I used double-sided tape. Then you just need a bunch of magazines or newspapers or whatever you can find that has a lot of pictures or words. So you could check your local library. They often have a ton of magazines for super duper cheap, or you could ask some family members for a stack of old magazines. My grandma, for instance, collects magazines. Like, she doesn't collect them, but she doesn't get rid of them, so she just has a million of them. I got these magazines from a coworker and they are amazing. They're all like Smithsonian and some other magazines about like nature and stuff from the mid 80s. So the graphics are just really cool. It's a little retro and there's a ton of them. So I was so grateful for her giving those to me so that I could do these. So really at the end of the day, all you need is something to put it on. You need glue or another adhesive, and you need scissors, and you need magazines. You could also use just like a printer if you wanted to print off images. I don't have a printer right now, so I just used these magazines. After you get your materials, or even before, just go ahead and jot down like at least 4 ideas of goals that you have for the next whatever, the rest of the year, let's say. And you want to jot these down so that you can keep them in the forefront of your mind as you're looking through all of these magazines or whatever, so that you can keep them at the forefront of your mind. You can notice pictures that might work for you. As you're looking through the magazines for pictures or phrases that match your goals, go ahead and just look for some imagery that will really work for you, that could go together and create a nice background for your vision board. So the one back here, I did a very like pastel pink purple, and for today's I ended up just finding a bunch of blue hues that really worked well, and I've been really into like an emerald green like water, and I found one of those. I was so excited. You want to just find a bunch of images that have a similar color scheme that will work for you to create your background. These background pictures don't have to have anything to do with your goals, but they can if you want them to. It's really just to create a nice background image to add some like texture almost to your vision board and make it aesthetically pleasing. How I chose my goals was I went back into my phone, the note on my phone with my goals for 2020. Like I said, most of them were already completed, but one thing has not been completed, and that is doing an open mic night. So Brandon and I have really wanted to do an open mic night for a long time, and we haven't yet for whatever reason. I mean, right now there is none, but there are none. But anyway, so I have to get that done. Like, it has been something that we've wanted to do forever, so that is on there for sure. And then I also have been I'm always reevaluating how I'm doing and what I want to change. And so some of those things are just keeping that idea of discipline, fighting for what I want. And most recently, I've been working really hard on my health and like fitness plan, but not like a diet, more like just like how to like live a healthy lifestyle. So more on that to come, but that is in there. Another big thing I've been working on is staying focused on my goal. Now this might sound silly because that's the whole point of a vision board. However, if you know me, I have a million ideas, a million dreams, and I just I can bounce from them over and over and over again, and then I have a new idea, and then I have a new idea, and then it's just nothing ever actually gets done. So I buckled down a few weeks ago and really worked out what I have to offer this world and what I can do with it, what I am interested in, and made a plan for what I ultimately want. And at the end, I'm like, I just need to stay focused on this, okay? Because all of these other things are great, but if I'm trying to focus on too many things, then nothing's actually focused on at all. So staying focused is definitely something that I am working on really hard right now, and I want to have reminders to stay focused, to not go off in a million different directions and not actually commit to any one thing. A couple other things I just want to have happen in our life, I want to make an effort with, is traveling a little bit more. We have such a busy schedule, and Brandon and I, honestly, like, our schedules are so opposite that it makes it hard to get away, and we're just committed to a lot of things, and it's just hard. It's just hard to get away. And then on top of that, there's the whole issue of money. So both of us want to make an effort to travel more, to go see those friends that are across the country and all over the place. And we also, along with that, have been really working on our financial areas. So we've been working really hard on saving and just buckling down on our budget so that we can do the things that we want. The other thing that we have just wanted to make an effort to do more of is to go to shows. So we used to go to concerts all the time in Chicago, and we really, really missed that. Just like going to be around music and musicians and other people who just appreciate it. So we went to a show for my birthday last year, and we're like, even though we live here in Adrian, like, we can still make an effort to go see shows. Maybe not in Adrian, but we don't have to travel too far. We can always go to Detroit or Ann Arbor, or there's places that we can go. We just need to make a little bit more of an effort to do that. After you have those items written down, I just wrote them down on a sticky note. Keep that beside you as you start looking through, scouring through these old magazines or whatever. Okay, so look for phrases or images that represent those things, and just tear out the pages, cut them out, whatever, and set them out around you. Okay, I kind of keep all of my background images in one area and then all of my goal images in another area. After you have enough images or phrases that represent these things and you have enough for your background, it's time to start putting it on your board or your cardstock or whatever you have. So I grabbed my favorite images for the background, these blue, rich, just like they have a sense of texture, and I grabbed them and I just kind of started laying them out on my vision board to see what worked. And then after I really like it, I snap a picture on my phone so that I can remember what it looks like, and then start taping or gluing on to the board. I like to put all the images, all the pictures just on the vision board, even though there's overlay. And then after I have everything adhered on there, I flip it over and I just cut off the edges. Okay, that way you don't have to try to like cut it just right so that it fits, because the worst thing would be to cut it too small and then you have to like cover up a teeny bit of paper behind, or like the canvas. So that's how I like to do it. Whatever works for you is perfect. And after you have that background done and you're happy with it, it is time to start arranging the things that you have visioned for yourself. So grab those things. I get above and beyond the pictures and phrases that I need to fill up my vision board. That way I have options and I don't have to be stuck with just like one option, because that's not really options, that's just one. Figure out how to get your biggest goals on that board and make it look aesthetically pleasing. After you have it all done, it is time to find a place to put it. Okay, so I will probably, I haven't decided if I'm going to take down this one from November yet. I really like it right there, and I don't want to put another nail in the wall to hang up my canvas. So I might just put my vision board over here on my bookcase. I don't know, but it needs to be somewhere that you see it all the time. So somewhere, maybe like your bathroom, like, I don't know, maybe on your dresser, by your office, like mine. Wherever you're going to see it a lot is where you want to put it, because if you don't see it, you won't make it happen often. Okay, so it's like that whole out of sight, out of mind thing. Like, keep it at the forefront of your mind so you can make it happen quick. I can guarantee you that if I wasn't looking at this every day, then I would not have already completed so many of the goals that I had on it. And so it's just really helpful. I know it sounds cheesy and like it wouldn't work, but it really truly does. And that is why I'm suggesting it for you, because I want the best for you and I want you to crush those goals that you have for yourself and to not like waste our time here, because we don't have all that much time. So like we need to make a difference and make the best of the time that we have. So I have my vision board here and I am happy with how it turned out. I went with like blue hues, like I said, and I really like it. So I grabbed this guy. It says, don't mess with Mother Moose, because you best not be messing with the people that I love. And I grabbed the guy with the binoculars to just remind me to stay focused, because that's important. And then I don't know if this bird is a songbird or not, but I'm choosing to believe that it is, to just like that open mic goal, because I would be singing, so like singing bird, I don't know, it helps. It was hard to find one to represent, but I also got this guy. There's a little guy in the background playing guitar, and that also represents just like going to shows and being surrounded by music, going to open mic nights. And then a deer, because I just think they represent so much of what I want for my life. I want to be intentional about exercising and just to eat well, and I feel like deer just kind of do that. Like they're really magnificent creatures if you think about it. So I grabbed a deer from my vision board. And then I have the little family in the car that they look like they're going on a trip, so traveling more. And then at the bottom, I have a phrase that says, we'll stop at nothing to illuminate it. And I really loved that, just for a reminder to keep my perspective in check, to kind of romanticize life even when it's hard. Okay, so you've probably seen like those TikToks or heard people say like, romanticize your life, think of yourself as the main character. Like, just like, I don't know, like have a positive perspective and just like live life to the fullest. So I really liked that phrase, even though it wasn't on my initial list. In fact, I added things to my list as I was looking through the magazine, because it reminded me of things that I do want for myself and I have been thinking about. So that's totally fine. I hope that you are able to make a vision board for yourself and that you find it really helpful. Definitely tag me in any pictures that you post of the vision boards, because I would love to see your work. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. I have a feeling that a giveaway will be coming soon, having to do with my subscribers, so make sure you keep in tune with what I am posting so that you don't miss that. Thank you so much for crafting with me today, and I love you lots. Bye!